Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zelia, and thank you for joining me as we discuss episode 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It was a very Roman focused episode, but when we get an episode in where we focus on a character's personality, their backstory, I really do enjoy and appreciate those kind of episodes. I thought overall this episode was intriguing, and the way they presented Roman's character was done very well. I thought the execution of that was spot on. So, because this is a very Roman-based episode, why don't we start off with my thoughts on the character and how they presented her. So, basically, putting aside the fact that she's an all-round great student, being that she's athletic, she's smart, she's popular, she's part of a band, we see a very different side to her character in this episode. Now, granted, this is only episode 3, but I liked the display of emotion and characteristics that Roman displayed in this episode, because we see joy while she's rush dueling, which we don't normally see from a character from these first 3 episodes. We see frustration when things aren't going her way, and she seemed a little bit impatient, despite her showing that patience. Because she very quickly wants to summon her ace monster, but gets frustrated when she can't do so on her first turn. Basically, the idea was she tried dueling because she wanted to try out this card that she got, and basically she just wanted to summon it really quickly and go, it's a cool card, I like it, and then just end the duel. But she couldn't do that, which showed frustration, but it also showed patience and perseverance, and that's something that you need in dueling, in order to kind of wait out, ride the storm, and then come back and do your counterattack, which she almost did. Now, I kind of got a small flash of tsundere vibes from this character, although this episode, when it came to like her dueling and whether or not she likes it, that's where the connection to her and being a tsundere came from. Not the fact that she likes Yuga in any sort of way. I know most of the time tsunderes, they kind of like the main protagonist, but they make it look like they don't. But in this case, dueling is the main protagonist, and I just kind of thought, you know, she always likes dueling and she finds it fun, but she'll never admit it to your face, or our faces as the viewer. So that's the kind of tsundere vibes I got from that. Dueling wise, it was a great showcasing of her skills, almost winning in the end, but she just falls short. But it backs up the fact that she's smart, and that she's a fast learner, which we already knew, we can kind of guess that, but it's nice just to have that reaffirmed. Now, going back to the opening. Now this might be a bit of a stretch, but it's only based on the small information that we know so far. But if you remember, we see her crying for some unknown reason in the opening. Now, after this episode, I do not think she's a spy for Goha. I honestly don't. But she could be sending photos to someone or something that is related to either Goha Corp or just a bad person in general. As we see in this episode that the photos are going somewhere. Now, this person at the end that we see could be her brother. Hence to why we get the full name of Roman's character or her band kind of displayed at the end. So it gives us a name to connect to when the dots are finally laid out in a future episode. Now, as for her crying, so she could just be, if this is her brother or a family member, then she could just be going, well this guy's pretty cool, he's in my class, or this character that we see above me here might have asked her to take a look at this character of Yuga, and she could just be sending photos to him, just thinking that he's just curious, or that she just wants to share something with him that she thinks is cool. You know, it's something that a younger sibling would do. However, this guy could turn out to be the antagonist, and that he could do something quite bad to the main cast, that being Yuga and Co. And basically, when they find out that he's from Roman's family, then maybe Rook would kind of go, I knew she was suspicious, but you didn't believe me. Now you're in this tricky situation. We don't like you anymore, Roman. And I could see Go doing that, because in this episode he comes off as being a very kind of goofy but serious type of character. But anyway, back to the point. This character could actually, in fact, be a family relative and the main antagonist at the same time, thus giving us this shot of Roman being upset because her friends, obviously, or her brother betrayed her trust and her friends have suffered because of it. That's my thoughts. You might have some completely different thoughts on that idea. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. It's an interesting topic, and let's see if anybody's got any bright ideas. But moving on, the Ace card. Prima Gitana. I think I pronounced that correctly, but this card had a very solid debut, and I found the backstory as to how Roman got this card, and the meaning and value of this card that it holds for her character, very well presented, but also very unique, because it comes from an idol that Roman adored when she was slightly younger, not too young, not too long ago, I can imagine, because she looks like she's at a festival on her own, which I'm not quite sure how old you have to be at a concert on your own for a kind of rock band. But anyway, that's a topic for a different video. However, this card basically holds value because it comes from someone that Roman idolizes and adores. And the way that they did this and showed us this in this episode was a very smart choice, because it's very realistic in the sense that most people, when they're at a young age, they have something that they love. And if that thing comes from a celebrity, then, or an idol, then they either A, brag about it to all their friends, or B, they keep very quiet about it and they're very shy. Roman, in this case, would fall into the very shy category, because this card is within her guitar case at all times, hence the way she doesn't like people having it. They know that she doesn't like dueling, but if they open it up and find out that she's got a card, then they're going to question her and find her suspicious or doubt her, basically. Design-wise, this card is very reminiscent to Roman as a character, and both are guitarists, both feel free when they perform in front of people, and love to bring joy to those that listen. When it comes to the skill, it's a very reliant skill upon the opponent, but it's still a very good and useful skill nevertheless. And again, it reflects Roman as a character, because this card basically powers up her cards with the sound of music from what the opponent has on the field, and Roman obviously powers up her band's members and the audience through the crowd's emotions and everything else like that. So if you look at it that way, the cards are very reminiscent of each other, and I found that to be pretty cool. Next up, Yuga. For me, Yuga wasn't too bad in this episode. His carefree personality, and the fact that he does whatever he likes, was okay. His use of sarcasm / teasing Roman into dueling was clever and very unique. I haven't seen this for a while in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where a protagonist or a character goes, you're just afraid to lose. You would never, I'm the inventor. You're not gonna be able to beat me. I think the last time this happened was Yuya. And, well, how did that turn out for him versus Yuzu? Anyway. When it came to the videos being deleted, he wasn't actually that freaked out or worried about the idea. I mean, this is very fitting for his character and personality. Because obviously he's quite carefree. He doesn't really worry too much about things. He just does whatever he wants to do. And the fact that he's not freaking out or going crazy or worrying basically just means that if something happens, he's just going to try and try again. And that's all his character is based on. His character is based on you get knocked down, you get back up, you keep doing what you love. And until it works. That's all I can really say about that part. Rook is the one who's very kind of agitated and angry about it. But I mean, Rook is set up to be this very serious character. There's also quite comedic, which I'm not quite sure on. Anyway, back to Yuga. I honestly do think, though, that he personally does not suspect Roman as being a spy in this episode. I think it's more the fact that he just wants to play around, try out his new gadgets, and duel her, basically. which his personality could be his downfall, because his carefreeness could make him become relaxed and carried away, thus putting himself or his friends in danger. But honestly, at this moment in time, Yuga does not suspect Roman at all as being like a shady character or a spy. He just wanted to try out some gadgets, show off his cool tech and gear, and basically just have a fun duel. He just wants to spread rush dueling and joy to everybody, and he just found an opportunity to express it to Roman. And that's basically what he did. He saw an opportunity, he saw a solution, and he took it. The robot was great. Kind of reminds me of how Roboppy kind of reacted to Ai's duels and Ai's actions with the whole cheering and sort of being like a fangirl type of thing. I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. The comedy in this episode... Let's see. The comedy in this episode was outlandish and it was kind of annoying. I liked bits of the comedy, but I mean, the whole scheming and scrambling for the guitar case I thought was dumb, and it interrupted the duel at the start, which I did not like at all. I like the fact that we saw the lab. That was a good laugh, and all the inventions and stuff inside it and the expressions and the kind of reactions that it got from different characters. I like that. I like the robot kind of being overly jolly and a big fan, not having a name. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, honestly, seeing Rook be the serious, strong character last week, and seeing him turn into a goofy character that's just gonna do whatever he can, try and make people laugh, but also try and act serious at the same time, but not quite work. I don't know. It diminished Rook's character a little bit, in my opinion, but that's just me. And yes, we do have another tutorial segment from this episode about tribute summoning, but it wasn't a big part of the episode, so I didn't really mind that at all. I can give that a pass, because it was literally just a couple of seconds where it's like, oh, by the way, tribute summoning requires this, this, and this. And that's good for new learners, and for us who already know it, it could be a nice refresher. All in all, a great episode, and a very good presentation of Roman's character, with stuff that allows us to speculate and to think about moving forward. It looks like we're going to see Gaito, a lot of focus on that character next episode, which could be something. We've seen a lot of comedic value from Gaito and a lot of seriousness from like his responsibilities as a student council president and stuff. So hopefully we see more of that than the comedy. Maybe he's got like some sort of like Chunibyo kind of thing where we see him in like this cape. Maybe he's like I may be the student council by day, but when I duel, I'm the Dark Lord. Call me Gaigato. I don't know. I just throwing out random stuff here. Something goofy that they might actually do in this series. But anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. And I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. I want to know what you as the fanbase think about Episode 7, Episode 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. And until next time, hope you have an amazing day. Arigato, matane, goodbye.